One of the most unusual flying clubs in the country. Have you any idea what goes on at a flying club? No, nor had Wendy Leavesley.
I counted them all out, and I counted them all back. Well, most of them.
We have had a weather warning this afternoon. We're keeping an eye on that, but if you find you're not happy at any time, just turn around and come back.
You'd go up through the middle and come down without any wings on, so we tend to stay well clear of them.
You've been kit formed, exactly, sir.
Not perhaps the best day for Britain's first recorded aerial treasure hunt, but this lovely old flying club in the heart of Shakespeare country wasn't giving up that easily.
It's better to be down here wishing you were up there than be up there wishing you were down here, so we're here, we're safe, we've got a few clues, we've had a good time. Unfortunately, we haven't completed the course tonight, but we will another time.
If, like me, you had no idea what went on at a flying club, welcome to Wellesbourne, one of the most energetic outfits in the country. The mastermind is Sarah Bolton, who took the backdoor route to the cockpit by becoming a stewardess and working her way up. Now she's a Civil Aviation Authority's examiner. The treasure hunt is her baby.
I don't know of anyone else that's done one in this particular area, but really we actually give the students a set of 8 or 10 questions, clues. They go off and fly over the local area, over the local countryside, and try and locate the answers to the questions. We have a lot of people that would like to, or have tried other hobbies, golf, riding, something like that, and they've never really been able to take their mind off their business. And so they want something else that will actually do that for them. They come and have a go at flying, and they say that when they come back, they really didn't think about their business or everyday stresses. They actually had to concentrate on what they were doing.
Right.
So it's a bit like an escape, really.
It's a complete switch off.
Yes, it is.
As long as you don't. Switch off, that is. So orienteering at 15,000 feet will have to be put back. In the meantime, let me tell you more about Wellesbourne. For a start, it has a rather expensive toy. Anyone who remembers the famous V-bombers of the 50s will recognise the most handsome member of the trio, the delta-winged Avro Vulcan, used as recently as the Falklands campaign in the bombing of Port Stanley.
To give you some idea of the cost, we do hopefully 2 taxi runs a year, and the fuel and so forth costs us in excess of £1,000 per taxi run.
But if you're not going to aim to get her airworthy, what is the point of all this work?
The idea is to preserve it. It's just as much part of our heritage as the castles and the stately homes, the steam trains, aeroplanes as well. It's part of our industrial heritage.
I expect you're wondering what happened to the toilets and so forth. Well, we do have a disposable toilet unit, and they're all male crew, and they use this. And then the little seal was placed on the top, and it was locked away underneath, and the air crew, or at least the ground crew, removed it on return to Ascension.
Crikey. In wartime, during an air raid, the air traffic controller moved here to the underground battle headquarters. It's since had a roof put on it to make it waterproof and thief-proof, because it now houses the Wellesbourne Wartime Museum, and it's quite unique.
In the room behind me here, we have telephone exchanges, which would have been down here, camp beds, telex machines, clock, maps of the local area, maps of the local flying area. We have bits of aircraft engine that have come from the River Avon from, unfortunately, crashed aircraft that were based from this airfield.
You really have got some wonderful stuff on the walls here. I saw this recipe for vegetable jam. Excuse me, if I get past. A bit cramped down here.
Yeah, right. 1 pound of parsnips and 2 ounces of gelatine, or 4 ounces of custard powder, 1 bottle of essence, ½ pound of beet treacle.
But it's not all about history. In fact, youth and females are important elements here. Raquel began learning when she was 14. If you can reach the pedals, you're old enough.
Flying is the most amazing feeling that you could get when you're up there, knowing that you're actually flying it yourself, and it's just so amazing. Nothing could beat it, no sport that I can think of.
Then there's the other way of flying, £170,000 for one of these jobbies and £4 to learn. What about it, Mike?
It's a deep skill, rather like riding a bicycle. It doesn't actually need intelligence, strangely enough. It's actually, if I explained how to ride a bicycle, it wouldn't help you to learn. And the fundamental skill of flying a helicopter is rather similar.
Right, well, I gathered it didn't need brains when I saw Fergie got her
Yeah, dear.
And so finally to the Battle of Britain, Wellesbourne's and England's first ever aerial treasure hunt.
We can't allow you to take any computers or GPSs, unfortunately. You've just got to use your chart and your own navigational skills. So, the best of luck.
When we get there, take up an approximate heading of 050 degrees. 050 degrees is that way. Okay. Okay. How many windows does the mouse have in his house?
How many windows?
Take off your discretion, wind calm. Take off my discretion, Golf November, okay.
Is it difficult to spot certain landmarks, or is it easy once you get used to it?
It's difficult at first, but you can get very disorientated because you feel you need to be going one way to go from A to B when really you need to be going in another direction. So, but you do actually get used to it. And the other thing to consider, of course, is the wind can blow you off course quite quickly without you really realising it.
The hunt's designed to last an hour and takes the competitors over several obvious landmarks like Warwick Castle. And a few less obvious ones like a windmill near Bromsgrove. It's a bit like reading a living, breathing map laid out beneath you.
It's a Roman site. It's a Roman site, isn't it?
What is the runway orientation of the private strip at the northwestern edge of Ulster? Okay, and the actual answer to that we have was 350 and 170 magnetic. The winners of the hunt with 45 points out of a possible 60 are Alan and Colin. And so congratulations, chaps. Nice BFR flight guide for both of you there, so you don't get lost.
Brilliant.
And,
where are we going then? Anywhere.
A nice bottle of fine quality sparkling wine that you can open any time you like within the next 5 minutes.
But hold on a moment. There's someone not back yet. It's not easy spotting windmills from one of these. Wonder how he got on.
I wonder who's paying the fuel bill, more to the point.